Hey gang, and welcome back. These videos are brought to you by Card Conduit, the best place to sell your unused collection fast and easily. 401 Games, Canada's top shop for all your hobby and TCG needs. Dragon Shield, the strongest sleeves for your strongest decks. Moxfield, the easiest way to store and share your deck lists. And Foil Armor, flatten your foils fast. Additionally, I'm running a giveaway with 401 Games. If you're a Canadian resident and looking to get the most bang for your buck, if you buy list an order of at least $25, you'll be entered with a chance to win your choice of one Commander Precon deck from Secrets of Strixhaven. We've got more Strixhaven headed your way with Arjo winning the die roll today. He just draws and plays a tapped Umbral Expanse. Sammy's land drop is a Fabled Passage, and he cracks it searching for a basic while passing. Max just plays a Plains. Mathieu plays his Temple of Triumph, which comes in tapped, and scries him 1. Arja's land is a Silent Clearing, and he then loses 1 as he taps it to help cast Blind Obedience. Sammy just plays a Swamp. Max has an Exotic Orchard, and he casts Talisman of Hierarchy. Matt's got another tap land with a Mistfield Plains, and he then pays 1 white for a land tax and passes. Arja starts his turn off with a Wayfarer's Bauble, and while it's on the stack, pays a mana to extort it. He passes after it resolves and drains his opponents for 1. Sammy's land drop is an Undergrowth Stadium, and he then taps out for an Ophiomancer, which comes in tapped. Sammy gains a snake on Max's upkeep, and Max just draws and has to pass. Matt's upkeep has him grabbing 2 planes from his library thanks to land tax, and he then draws her turn. He plays a Plains, and then casts Cool but Rude, and he ships it after it resolves. Arja displays a tap Cycle land, and passes. Sammy's turn has him playing a Wastewood Verge, and he then brings out Namada. Namada comes in tap because of the Obedience, and moving to combat, Sammy swings the Ophiomancer and Snake at Arja. They both connect, and Sammy passes. During the end step though, Max flashes in a Witherbloom Bearer. Max loses 1 on his upkeep, makes a fairy token, and draws. He then plays out a Welcoming Vampire. Going to combat, he hits Arja for 1 and passes. Matt gets 3 more basics from his land tax on his upkeep, draws for turn, and plays out a mountain. He then levels up Cool but Rude to the maximum level, and he goes tutor for a card, and then has to discard a card, aka gamble. At this point, Arja also cracks his Bauble to go and find a Plains. Matt then discards a card at random, and then down to hand size, dealing a total of 8 to each of his opponents. Arja's got an Isolated Chapel, and then just casts his commander with Killan, and passes. Sammy's land drop is a Yavimaya Cradle of Growth, and all of his opponents now have forests as well. He swings at a Mathieu, and after his creatures connect, just passes turn. Max loses 1 on his upkeep, makes a fairy token, draws a card from the Welcoming Vampire seeing the token come in, and then draws for turn. He also plays a Silent Clearing, and then casts his own Ophiomancer, and maybe Max should stop neck decking and think of his own ideas. Max then convokes out Benny Brax, and passes. During the end step, he gets to draw a card from Benny's trigger, and Sammy also channels Beseiju, destroying Cool but Rude. This has Matt going to find a land with a basic land type on it, grabbing a Surveil land, and he looks at the top card as it comes in, and keeps it on top. Matt's got a Plains, and casts Library of Ling. He then brings out a Caldera Pyramaw. He passes, and during the end step, Arja uses this as a chance to cast a Vanishing Verse, and exiles the dragon. Arja draws and casts a Changing Loyalty, paying to replicate it once, and also pays to extort it. This has him draining his opponents for 1 and gaining 3, and he enchants Namada and Sammy's Ophiomancer. He also gets 2 Killian triggers, and taps and goads both of them. Moving to combat, Killian then goes at Matt for 2, and Arja passes. Sammy untaps and plays a Nurturing Peatland as his land for turn. He goes to cast Tend the Pests, sacrificing Namada, and makes a bunch of pest tokens that come in tap because of blind obedience. Because of the changing loyalty attached to Namada, Arja gets to steal it as it hits the graveyard. Sammy then brings out Witherbloom. Going to combat, the Ophiomancer and Snake token go at Max, and Sammy passes after they connect. Max once more loses 1, making a fairy token, which draws him a card as it enters from the Welcoming Vampire. He then draws for turn, and plays a tapped Emeria the Sky Ruin. We then see Silverquill coming in, and Max goes to combat. Benny goes at Sammy, and the Ophiomancer goes at Matt. Both connect, and Max passes, drawing a card from Benny on his end step. Max then discards a Falwar Stone and Lingering Souls to drop down to 7 cards in hand. Matt plays a Plains and casts Lorehold. He then passes after his commander resolves. During the end step, Max convokes out Pylon and uses Silverquill's casualty granting ability by sacrificing a token and gains a copy of the spell as well. He destroys fellow legendary dragons Lorehold and Witherbloom. With the legends hitting the graveyard, Namada exiles them, and Arja gets to make 2 Saproling tokens, even though they went to the command zone instead. Arja untaps and draws. He plays a Fetid Heath as his land for turn, and then puts to stack a Rune of Mortality and targets Benny. With the aura on the stack, Matt uses Path to Exile and exiles Benny instead. This has Max going to find a land. Arja then plays out Scriv, and as he enters, puts the contract onto Silverquill. He then swings his creatures at Matt. They connect, and Arja passes. Sammy draws, bringing out an Urborg and granting the entire table swamps in addition to forests. He then casts a Studious First Year, which comes in prepared. He then casts the spell side for Rampant Growth, going to find a swamp. Going to combat, Ophiomancer and the Snake token go at Max. They connect, and Sammy ships it. Max loses 1, making a fairy token, draws from the Welcoming Vampire, and draws for turn. He plays a swamp, and brings out Nadir's Nightblade, which comes in tapped. Max then puts to stack a Reanimate, sacrificing a token to Casualty. This triggers the Nightblade, since it only cares that the token is leaving the battlefield, and drains his opponents for 1 and gains him 1. Max then gets a copy of Reanimate, and his first one brings back Teysa, losing 3, and then the Defacing Duskmage, losing 3 more. For combat, Silverquill goes at Matt, 3 fairy tokens go at Arja, and the Bearer and Ophiomancer go at Sammy. Arja blocks a fairy with Scriv, and before damage, Sammy sacrifices his Nurturing Peatland to draw a card. Everyone then takes their hits, and with the token leaving play, the Nightblade drains Max's opponents again, and Arja also gets to make a Saproling token because of Namada. Matt just draws and has to pass. Arja draws for turn, and casts Demon of Fate's Design. He then follows up by paying 5 life with a Sigil of the Empty Throne. These are 2 enchantments, so he has 2 goads from Killan, and put them onto Sammy's Ophiomancer and Max's Silverquill. Going to combat, Scriv then swings at Max, and he puts a contract onto Teysa. He also goads her with the Killing ability, and Arja passes. Sammy draws, playing Decorum Dissertation, drawing 2 and losing 2. This has Max's Defacing Duskmage become prepared. Sammy then plays out a Bojuka Bog, exiling Max's graveyard. Sammy follows up with a Badger Mole Cub, and as it comes in, Earthbends onto the Bojuka Bog. He goes to combat, and the Ophiomancer swings at Max. Max doesn't block and takes a hit instead. Sammy then passes, and during the end step, Max uses the now prepared Duskmage to cast Vandal's Edit. With Silverquill being out, he's able to casualty 1 it, so he gains a copy. This has his opponents losing 1 to Nadir, and Max then draws a total of 4, and the whole table loses 4 life. Max loses 1 on his upkeep, makes a fairy, draws from the vampire, and draws for turn. He plays a Plains, and Max then taps out, paying 4 into the X of Debt to the Decklists. He sacrifices a token to Casualty, copying the spell. With the Nightblade ability on the stack, Matt responds with Perch Protection and gives Arja an extra turn. This has Matt making 4 bird tokens, but more importantly gaining protection from everything, and his life total can't change. The table is then drained for 1 from the Nightblade, and a further 16 from the spell, with Max gaining 32. This takes Sammy out. Max then swings his goated creatures he has to at Matt, knowing they won't do anything, and the rest of the creatures go at Arja. Arja knows he can't block enough, but still blocks to exile some creatures on his way out and maybe help Matt, and then gets taken out. Max then passes turn. Matt's turn has him drawing and casting a Felwar Stone. He swings 3 of his 4 bird tokens at Max. Matt's second main phase then has him casting Fated Clash, and he has the untapped bird gain Indestructible, and 1 of Max's fairy tokens. With the tokens leaving play, the Nightblade drains Matt for 1. Unfortunately for Matt, Max actually gets to make 6 spirit tokens finally with Teysa, because Nemata's gone, so she's finally able to see creatures hitting the graveyard. Knowing what he's about to receive, Matt has no choice but to pass turn. Max draws and plays a land for turn, and needs only turn things sideways, winning the game through combat. Game review time. So once more, I think the best card this game was actually a commander, and it was one of the new dragons. Giving instants and sorceries a specific type of mechanic is always very good, especially when the cards don't have it by default, and considering that it's a casualty 1, which is very easy to do, and it's kinda got me into Orzhov Spellslingers. Other than that, we really didn't get to see Lorehold do very much, and Witherbloom, despite the fact that the game last week basically had him coming back multiple times, he really stuttered in this game. Killan, it felt like, was doing exactly what Arja wanted it to do, which was goad his creatures so his opponents would attack each other. It just lacked a little bit more oomph. I think it would have been interesting to see how the deck turned out once the Demon of Fate's design was out, but unfortunately Max won that subsequent turn. This video wouldn't be possible without the help from my sponsors, but it definitely wouldn't be possible without the help from you, the viewers, and my patrons. So I just want to say thank you for watching, and to remember, friends are just opponents you haven't eliminated yet.